Hello and welcome to Zeta Chivalry 2 survival runs. Today's map is Trayan Citadel, and I'm playing with the Halberd from first person view. This is additionally challenging because you don't actually see the weapon whenever you try to do overhead accelerations and drags. So this is really a problem because you always have to have a feeling where the weapon is landing instead of relying on visual indication where your weapon is connecting with the enemy body or not. So for this reason it's best to use a weapon that's actually good at stabbing. Without further ado, let's comment the run itself. So immediately there was a melee inside the first objective. I was able to revive also another person, I'll score 2 kills, which is quite good. However, again, the map already started long before I joined, but that's still good that I was seeded into the first stage, so I can continue. Now this particular stage, the second stage, the pushing the battering ram stage, has only one slight issue, that the ammo crate is really far away. So if you want to get to the ammo crate, it would take you a long way back. Alternatively, if you have pushed over, you can grab it from behind those wooden boards on the left. Otherwise, again, I'm trying to do most of the stabs and overhits. Of course, it doesn't help when enemy has active parry. But the idea is that with, if you are able to drag your overheads and stabs, you can still score a lot of kills anyway. So again, stabs are probably the easiest to land in first-person view, especially if you're playing, with longer weapons that far extrude away from the screen. By the way, to make the run easier, I put the POV to max, which is 120 in Chivalry. I usually play at 110, but since for first person just not enough to have enough vision and situational awareness, so I maxed it out to 120. At least I didn't use the console, I just put a slider in the settings to the max. So yeah, I dropped down from the main bridge just so it's easier to score kills on this particular pathway on the left. And also a bit more secure because ballista do not usually get here. But I can see the guy fell down from way up, so it's low HP, so through my Halberd. And now I'm 1 against 2. Again, pretty tough, but it's possible. If you alternate the enemy, so you strike into one, then parry and go the other one. This is usually how things are done when fighting 1 against many. But unfortunately I ran out of stamina, so now I had to improvise with a one-handed weapon. So again, that was also successful. So I won this duel, or not duel, of 1 against many. Okay, would not count the first enemy as a dueler. He just fell down and received my Halberd in the face from far away. Other than that, yeah, so just getting rid of this straggler, and we'll go back into thinning out the lines of the enemies next to the objective. Yeah, this is friendly. Falling down. Again, it's best if you are not falling down and just keep your HP to max. So you should engage, then wait until your stamina replenishes. Because very often what happens is you can run out of stamina, like you saw in that 1 against 2, while I lost the main weapon. So yeah, that's not helpful if you lose main weapon. First of all, you get open to one swing, because at the time when you are taking out the second weapon from the scabbard, usually you are very vulnerable to any sort of attack. So have this in mind, and keep your weapon and the stamina always on, at least halfway full. That helps. So we're doing quite fine. Already half the gate is destroyed. However, yeah, I usually didn't even make it to the gate at all. It's a bit tricky there, just too much chaos, so you can die quicker. But trust me, if I'm taking more of the waves that are coming to the objective on our left side, if they're targeting me instead of going to the objective, that's again a win for us, for the team, because I'm keeping enemy team busy as well. So we're closely inching towards the end of the objective. But I still have to make to the middle and do additional damage to the enemies. However, this was less successful engagement. For some reason, could not really get a hang of the second guy. Again, Halberd not the quickest weapon, so if you lose, you know, one hit, if you one hit hits you, so then you will be open to the second hit too. Oh, we destroyed the gate finally, and we can go further. This was by far the most dangerous objective in the whole map for attacking team. But now we can rest assured that, you know, it's much easier to survive. Of course, it's still a chance. So until I'm Argon, there's a chance that I would die. But in order to reach Argon, I still need to be the first on the scoreboard, and not at the moment. Mainly due to lacking points. For example, as compared to guys who have a healing horn. And also missing the first few minutes of the map as well, which could easily have granted me additionally 3 to 4 kills. So that's 300 to 400 damage, 300 to 400 points. Yeah, so I also did detonate the objective and also killed the enemy guy next to it. So by the way, if you kill friendly, you would not receive minus 100 points, as far as I know. But you would receive more, if the barrels detonate, you would receive points for killing the enemy. So far, doing well. Again, clearing more people on the left, but not extruding too much, because it's vital not to be too exposed. Because again, first-person view usually limits your ability to view your sides. So it's best not to do that. Not to go against many, unless you're, spinning like a fidget spinner. So then you can do that. But that provided that you still would die, but deliver a lot of damage. In my case, I aim to survive. So I usually poke and go back whenever a situation calls for it. Again, in the middle, trying to get rid of as many enemies as I can. Quite successfully, actually, doing a lot of damage, which is good. Again, it helps team to progress forward. Yeah, some damage is received, but again, nothing fancy. Still, whenever you hit around half HP, you should think twice whether or not to engage the enemy. So I usually try to go back and heal. You should too, if you want to survive. There will be more battles to fight, but it's best to do it with full HP, not with some half HP or 1/3 of HP. So on our right side, in the middle we already have objective being blown to bits, so that's good. I'm just waiting for the right side to be also, also blown up. So I could actually grab a cheeky objective points there. So the trick is you wait for it to blow up, then quickly grab the bomb from the cart, the powder keg, and then just place it next to the other door. So that's additionally 250 points for free. It helps. Every little helps. Not sure how the enemy made it here, but that's alright. Again, I can't dent him at all, because he is inactive parry most of the time. Or shielded from my halberd by my own friendlies. So we have penultimate objective left. We have to put powder kegs next to the statue. And that's it. And then I consider it, a done deal. Because I rarely use as Argon. I mean, I might not kill the Mulric, but I would definitely not die. I mean, you have to be really some sort of playing against superhumans to lose as Argon. Because Argon is just OP. He has the best weapon, the highest HP count, and so on. But until I'm Argon, I still have to do a lot of things, like ensuring that my score is still, at the top of the team. That means I have to go in and fight battles as well. Next to the objective, probably won't plant anything, because again, there it's a bit risky. But I'm doing a great support from the back and the front of the army anyway. Because now I have a two-handed long stick that delivers a lot of damage. And it would be a shame, to carry kegs if you do so much damage anyway. So again, just trimming the enemy lines from, some pokes. here and there, and trying to return back whenever I feel like I'm threatened, like here for example. Really not sure, it seems like I tried to counter but it didn't work, so I saw that my HP is quite low, so I decided to go back and heal instead of fighting it out over there. I probably also those 3 hits I received when I tried to block also sort of made me realize that I have to be a little bit more cautious. Whenever the map is progressing, you know, the latest stages, you should feel, I mean, if you're doing solo runs, you should feel and play a bit more cautiously than the start of the map. So yeah, the last objective is also burning. The last keg is burning, so just need to ensure that it's not being diffused. Getting rid of the enemies here and there. Usually last kill, but that's because I'm just trying to free up the guys over there in the corner that were busy with this enemy, so they also could join the fight. So we need to light the last fuse. Again, I tried to trim the enemies, you know, enemy numbers as much as I could, but still they managed to defuse. Again, we can do the second wave. So you see I survived even though our first wave died. I went back because again, that's not the point to win the battle, it's about to win the war. Again, the guy master with the frag just wasn't able to see through all those feints. Again, whenever you have a long stick, it's a bit harder to react. I mean, if you don't see the tip of the enemy's weapon, it's harder to react and defend. So this is the difference between first person and third person. So first person allows you to duel against opponents that have shorter weapons, quicker weapons, especially if they do stabs. Whereas the third person allows to see all those long weapons and the drags that come with it. So I'm Argon now, and I know it's a breeze now, even though I'm not particularly proficient playing first person, and with this sword especially. But this weapon is just too OP, and so I mean the chances of me dying are really slim to none. Again, saw the enemy drop down from the top, and he also immediately lost like 2/3 of his HP because my one overhead delivers 100 damage. I mean, that's because this weapon has amplification of plus 100, so that means it delivers twice as much damage as a regular longsword, but does not suffer any drawbacks on its speed. So yeah, the hero cannot usually heal, the Argon cannot. Thorn can, but Argon does not have the bandage. So you can only be healed by friendlies, or by you know, all the food or edibles out there. Now I saw that enemy hero for some reason decided to go into our spawn. I don't really need to engage him at all. I just need to get a lot of kills from the other enemies that are following through and trying to assist Malric. And I'm pretty sure that my team can handle in their own spawn Malric without any difficulties. So so far a lot of kills happening. And this is what we came here for, easy kills. So imagine if in Coxwell you're swatting peasants, or in Bridgetown. So this is exactly how it feels when you have Argon Sword. You're just swatting all those enemy players just because of the difference in weapons and also HP pool. And yeah, last but not least, that my attacks cannot be cancelled by a hit. The map is ending, so I scored 45 kills, which is great considering it's a first person additional challenge run. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.